Alright guys, so welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all hanging in there still for Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is still holding strong at $26,000. You guys can clearly see that. And yes, in today's video, of course, I want to talk more about Bitcoin, what's going on with Bitcoin, and of course, show you guys a fair few charts. And you guys can read by the title, and I really want to talk about this because I really do believe, and I'm pretty sure, we have talked about this for a fair few times. We both know, guys, that the next Bitcoin bull market is in fact about to happen. Okay, and we are almost there, right? And there is in fact one specific chart that I will show you guys in today's video indicating that we are in fact almost there, right? For the next Bitcoin bull market. It may seem boring right now, right, for Bitcoin and crypto, right? Bitcoin hasn't really been moving. Same with the crypto market. But I'm telling you guys this right now, okay, we will in fact see a massive move very, very soon. So that's exactly what I want to talk about for today's video. So give this video a thumbs up and of course subscribe to the channel. That is always appreciated. So that's that. Now let's begin with this video. So right now we are in fact in the 4-hour time frame, and we saw a couple of days ago, right, Bitcoin was actually having this drop all the way back down to $25,000 on the dot, and then it did in fact bounce back up, and now Bitcoin is in fact back up at $26,000, and it seems like Bitcoin is in fact holding strong at this level of $26,000. So 26,500. So it's looking pretty good for Bitcoin. And the crypto market today is still looking pretty good today as well, right? The global crypto market cap still above 1 trillion. Always amazing to see. And overall, the market's up 1% today, right? Just over 1%. So for the past 24 hours, Bitcoin really hasn't been moving. Same with Ethereum. Ethereum is still holding strong at $1,600. Always amazing to see for ETH. And you guys can see for the past 24 hours, a fair few altcoins are not really moving, right? Not really moving. Toncoin, I think that's how you pronounce it. This altcoin has been moving, guys. So like for the past few months, it's literally been moving. It's now in the top 11, right? Out of the entire crypto market, it was in the top 11. It's now in the top 11, right? I remember this altcoin was like in the top 20, even the top 30 a couple months back, and now it's at number 11. So this altcoin has in fact been moving. I don't know much about it, I'm going to be honest with you guys, but it is moving. You guys can see, right, for the past week, it's up over 30%, almost 35. And for the past 24 hours, it's up 13%. It's been pumping, okay, and I don't know why. Okay, I don't know much about it. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments down below if you guys know anything about that altcoin. But you guys clearly see not much movements for other altcoins. So that's that, guys. Okay, it's sort of like a very, very boring day today in the market. Like the market's only up 1%, so not much movements. Now the FinGrid index is still holding in fear, right? So it seems like investors are sort of feeling fearful right now for Bitcoin and crypto, right? Which is understandable. It's currently at 46, almost in neutral. But you guys clearly see yesterday, last week, even last month, it was all in fear mode, right? And that's because Bitcoin has obviously been dropping. You guys clearly see that. So it's that's why the FinGrid index and why people are in fact feeling fearful, because Bitcoin's obviously dropping, and it could drop even more, right? Not just spread any FUD out there, guys, but it could potentially drop even more. And I might actually talk about a separate video on why Bitcoin could potentially drop further down to the downside, slightly, not too much though, but we will talk about that more. Now let's show you guys some of these charts that I really want to show you guys for today's video, starting off with this one. So you guys clearly see, very simple, we hit a bottom. Clearly Bitcoin is in fact forming a new uptrend, right? And you guys clearly see it is in fact forming throughout this year in 2023. So we are still in accumulation phase, right? I've been telling you guys as many times, if you didn't buy Bitcoin when it was in fact at its bottom around this area right here, okay, understand it's still a good buy right now. Like I feel like a lot of people don't understand it's such a great buy right now for Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is still nowhere near back up to its previous all-time highs, and I do believe we are still in bear conditions, right? We're still pretty much in a bear market, guys. But understand, a bull market is in fact about to happen very soon. Okay, and this is not the chart that I want to show you guys. It's another chart. But this chart pretty much just shows you guys we are still in, okay, the reaccumulation phase right now. Right, we are still in the buy zone. I've been telling us many times we all should be buying as much Bitcoin as we possibly can. This is still the perfect time to do that, to stack as much Satoshis, right? Invest in Bitcoin as you humanly possibly can. Like, buy as much as you can, guys, right? And this is obviously not financial advice, but understand, if you guys just look at the chart, it's very, very clear, right, that we are in fact still in a great buy zone right now for Bitcoin, especially for long term, right? Especially for the next upcoming bull market. Right now is still a great buy. Okay, it really, really is. So don't forget that. Now we are in fact seeing a death cross, and it seems like every single time we have this death cross, Bitcoin does pump, right? So we know the next upcoming few years, of course, I'm talking about 2024, especially 2025, we will in fact see Bitcoin pump. We know the halving is in fact right around the corner. It's going to happen around April next year in 2024. And once that happens, obviously we're going to see Bitcoin pump. But when the halving happens, guys, we're not going to see Bitcoin pump straight away, right? You got to give it a few months, okay, and then it will pump. So yes, you guys can see a death cross is forming, and it seems like Bitcoin is in fact about to have a massive rally up to the upside. Who knows? We could potentially see Bitcoin down below $30,000 for the next, I don't know, few weeks or so. We will see, but potentially that will happen. Okay, but understand, guys, in the next few months, especially sometime next year in 2024, we're going to see some massive pumps. Okay, and potentially, of course, 2025, right? 2025, that's going to be, you know, when the bull market officially happens, pretty much, right? So that's that. So yeah, death crosses forming. So we could potentially see Bitcoin pump very, very soon. Now, this is the chart that I really wanted to show you guys. Okay, so the Bitcoin bull market is in fact about to happen. Okay, so you guys can see on the top here, 2018 to 2020. Okay, we were in fact in a bear market, and then we were in fact in the pre-halving action. You guys can see right here, which is pretty much where we are right now. And then once we had the halving, right, our previous halving back in 2020. Okay, you guys clearly see Bitcoin didn't pump straight away when the halving happened, right? And this is what I'm talking about, right? When the halving happens, we don't see Bitcoin pump straight away. You got to give it a few months' time. Okay, and that's why I always been telling you guys, you know, towards the end of the year 2024, that's when I'm gonna really see the bull market really happen, right? The bull run. So you guys could see back in 2020, our most previous halving, we had the halving, didn't really move. It was pumping a little bit, then it went back down, and then boom, it really started to take off around, you know, October and November of 2020. And then of course throughout 2021, that's when pretty much we were in fact in a bull market. Bitcoin was just continuing to pump up, right? Pretty much the same exact thing's going to happen. Okay, so 2022 to 2025. Okay, of course, 2022 bear market. Okay, one of the worst bear markets in my personal humble opinion, right? It really was. And we hit a bottom, and right now this is where we are right now in the pre-halving action. We know the halving is in fact about to happen very soon next year in April, right? And once that actually happens, you know, that's going to be good news for Bitcoin, and we're going to see the next bull market pretty much happen for Bitcoin, especially in 2025. Okay, if you guys haven't seen my most previous video, I talked about this, right? For the year 2025, Bitcoin's gonna absolutely skyrocket. Not just Bitcoin, but obviously altcoins. Alt season, okay, is obviously gonna pump as well, right? So your favorite altcoins will potentially pump like crazy in the year 2025. But it's not looking too good for altcoins right now, I must say. Okay, it really isn't, which is good, right? It gives us time to buy more. Okay, so that's that. But you guys clearly see, okay, it's very simple with these Bitcoin cycles and patterns. Okay, it does rhyme over time. It's always not always the same, but it, you know, it's pretty similar, right? Like spot on. Okay, so that's that, guys. Be prepared, because I'm telling us right now, the next Bitcoin bull market is about to happen very soon, and we are almost there. Okay, and this chart just clearly shows you guys that we are in fact almost there. 213 days left apparently to the next bull market, so that's less than a year, right? So time is ticking. It really is. Now, of course, Bitcoin's obviously going to be reaching, pardon me, a new all-time high, right? It really is, okay, a new all-time high. Okay, so the year 2025, Bitcoin potentially is going to reach over 200K apparently, right? And it seems like a lot of people out there are in fact predicting, right, that Bitcoin's going to reach over $200,000. I feel like a lot of people out there, when they make these price predictions for Bitcoin in the next, bull market, they don't even talk about like 100K to like 150. They straight away just get into like the 200K level. You know what I mean? Because we know, guys, that Bitcoin will potentially easily reach 100K and, of course, 150K, 180. Okay, so that's why I think people are, in fact, jumping to like that 200K price level. And this chart is indicating that, yeah, we'll potentially see Bitcoin reach over 200K. Okay, you guys clearly see that, right? And you guys clearly see every single time we enter a new bull market, Bitcoin always tends to reach a new all-time high. So that will potentially happen for the year, of course, 2025. Okay, and this chart right here, guys, pretty much indicates that, we could potentially see a $250,000 Bitcoin for the next all-time high, right? Apparently. Okay, this chart just shows you guys that we might actually potentially see Bitcoin reach around $250,000 per Bitcoin, potentially in the year, of course, 2025. Okay, we will see it. Then, of course, in 2026, it's going to drop back down, right? Because that's when we're going to enter the next bear market. It's always the same cycle, guys. Pretty much one bad year and 3 good years. Okay, it's always the same, pretty much, right? For the 4-year cycle for Bitcoin. But yeah, $250,000 per Bitcoin. That's going to be absolutely insane. And it could potentially happen. Okay, we will see, guys. Okay, we can't say much right now, right? But we will see. Okay, so that's that. Now, talking about this month for September, I talked about this a fair few times. So far this month in September, it's been in the greens, right? Actually, you know what I mean? So, September so far is looking pretty good for Bitcoin. You guys clearly see we are in fact up 2.3%. Right, so we are still holding in the green, surprisingly. So far this month in September, we haven't really seen massive movements down to the downside, which I thought it will, because you guys can see September throughout, 6 years straight has been pretty bad for Bitcoin. Like, look at 2019, it was down over 13%, almost 14% just for that month. Absolutely insane, right? So, September, usually Bitcoin does not perform too great. And surprisingly, okay, Bitcoin is still holding in the greens, right? Just like what this chart is showing you guys, right? So far, it's still in the greens for September, up, over 2%, 2.3%. But that could potentially change, guys, right? Because we are more than halfway through this month. Okay, we still have like over a week or so left into this month until October, right? So who knows? In the next few days, we might actually potentially see Bitcoin drop, right? Who actually really knows? But we will see. Maybe this year for this month of September will be different. We might actually end off this month of September in the greens for the first time in 6 years, because like I said, 6 years straight, we have in fact been seeing Bitcoin ended off in the reds. And yeah, it's not been looking too good for September, but hopefully this year will be different. And we know next month in October, that's going to be a very exciting month, because usually October, Bitcoin performs pretty well. So be excited for that for all my Bitcoin holders out there. So it's looking pretty good for September so far, right? It really, really is. Now, the last thing I really want to talk about is this. Okay, before I end this video, today's video. So, BlackRock, okay, how it started versus how it's going now. Okay, so you guys can see back in 2017, okay, so pretty much 5 years, right? BlackRock, the CEO of Larry Fink, okay, calls Bitcoin an index of money laundering. So we know back in the day, a couple years back, around 5 years ago, even in 2018, I remember, right? He was in like a news channel, and he was being interviewed, and he was saying they have nothing to do with Bitcoin, and they will never do anything with Bitcoin or crypto, right? And now, this is what they're doing right now. We know BlackRock files for spot Bitcoin ETF with Coinbase as a crypto custodian, right? So just think about that. Okay, so we know BlackRock is in fact filing for a Bitcoin ETF, and we know many more other institutions not just BlackRock, but other ones, right, are in fact filing for a Bitcoin ETF as well. So it seems like a lot of these major institutions are in fact coming into Bitcoin and just crypto in general, right? This crypto space, and it's looking pretty amazing. And once, if and when, they do in fact get, I know they're going to get approved. Most likely, we know that, right? Most likely would not get declined by the SEC. But once it does in fact get approved by the SEC, we're going to see Bitcoin pump, right? And this is why I'm really excited for the next bull market. And this is why I've always been telling you guys, in the next bull market is going to be completely different compared to our previous bull markets that we have in fact been seeing in, throughout Bitcoin history. This one's going to be completely different. A lot of money is going to be poured into crypto, right? Especially Bitcoin. So it's going to pump, guys, no matter what, right? So be excited for that, guys, okay? It seems like BlackRock and, of course, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, they understand where Bitcoin is heading. They understand the technology behind it, why we actually need Bitcoin, why they need Bitcoin, why everyone needs Bitcoin. And I know that BlackRock is secretly buying Bitcoin. I know that, right? Especially right now. Who knows? There could be buying a whole bunch of Bitcoin right now, guys, right? No one actually really knows, but there's a lot of rumors out there, okay? There really, really is. So it's looking pretty good for Bitcoin, guys, okay? So far, it's a thumbs up from here, right? It really, really is. And this just shows you guys that people's, their minds change. You know what I mean? They understand where Bitcoin is heading, right? So for all the people out there right now, okay, that are in fact, bearish with Bitcoin, calling it a scam and one that's going to go to like $0, right? In the next few years, they're going to become bullish and they're going to have to, buy some Bitcoin and whatnot. And they will eventually, guys, right? Everyone that you guys know that are not into Bitcoin or against, with Bitcoin or crypto, they are against it. They're not going to be against it no more. You know what I mean? So that's that. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and end today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I will obviously keep you guys updated with Bitcoin, what's going to happen with Bitcoin. But so far, it's still holding strong at this 26K level, right? So we'll see if it does, maybe continue to, consolidate at this level, or will it bounce back up to 27K, or will it, drop back down to 25K? I will let you guys know. But so far, Bitcoin is still, holding very, very strong. So that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up and of course subscribe, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a good one, guys.